What is up, farming family? How y'all doing today? Today, we're going to be talking about the Rivaya and the Revelle from Avoura Pickleball. Pretty sure I just butchered the name of these paddles. The Rivaya is the elongated and the Revelle is the hybrid shape. I do have a discount code for this company. It's Farmer. If you use that, you will get $10 off. This is a Gen 1 paddle. That means there's no thermoforming, there's no foamed edges. What they have done was they've taken the edge guard and kind of merged it down into the handle, which makes the taper up a little bit higher so you can put two hands on the paddle easier. They've also added gel in certain places of the paddle to add for stability. But yeah, when I played with the Rhapsody, I really enjoyed it, and I was hoping for a hybrid shape. They dropped it, and there's also an elongated shape. So let's get into this review, y'all. So first thing I'll talk about with these paddles is the pop. What you're going to get with both of these paddles in terms of pop is going to be middle of the line pop when it comes to the all court category. These are not in the top of all court, and these are nowhere near the power category. So what you're getting is you're going to get pop is very similar to some of the Gen 2 pop that you're used to. Now, what's going to be different is how it feels. It is a Gen 1, so it feels a little more hollow and plush, but the pop is still there. It's just not crazy, not like any of the power paddles that are currently on the market. And then when it comes to the power is definitely below a lot of these Gen 2 paddles that are currently on the market. I'm talking about the Revaya in terms of other elongateds, and then Revelle in terms of other hybrid shapes. And the reason I really feel like they're lower in power compared to those two is because stock swing weights are drastically lower than their, stuff you would compare them to. So what you're going to do is you slap some lead tape on them. The power is going to get up there very similarly to a lot of these Gen 2 paddles that are currently on the market or that have been coming out over the last couple of years. So in terms of power, you're going to get what you need in terms of power. It's not going to be power category. So if you're like fiending for this power, you just need to go somewhere else, because this is not going to be it. This is going to be an all-court paddle that's going to allow you to control the ball a little bit better. And in terms of control, y'all just heard what I said about the power and pop. This is way more controllable than like 90% of the stuff that's currently being released. Most of these foam paddles are going to be poppier. There may be one or two that are, softer, like the dyed-in Blue Core 19 millimeter. It's definitely softer than this. But in terms of control, 99% of the population is going to be able to take this out. And within 3 or 4 days, you're going to be playing with it super easily, resetting and blocking, and not worrying about popping everything up. Because a lot of these Gen 3 and Gen 4 paddles are going to make you make a lot more mistakes. When it came to the RPMs, the Revaya got 2,096 and the Revelle got 2,113 RPM. Like I'm saying, anything over 1850 to 1900 plus is going to be really good. You're going to get the spin you need. Quit worrying about it. Most of these paddles that are made out of raw carbon fiber, Kevlar, PET, stuff like that, they use the pill ply process. You're going to get good spin from it. There's no point in worrying. When it came to the swing weights, the Revaya had a 113 swing weight and the Revelle had a 110 swing weight. The Revaya was 8.1 ounces out of the box and the Revelle was 7.9 ounces out of the box. Okay, the Revaya, aka the elongated, is 113. Most elongateds are like 117 plus. That's what I was talking about. Super light. Anybody can use these. Just pick them up and grab them, which is really cool. And then if you want lead, you can add lead tape to them and increase the plow through. Very simple. And the Revaya weighed 8.1 ounces right out of the box. And the Revelle weighed 7.9 ounces out of the box. The Revelle was crazy light too in terms of swing weight. Much like the elongated, you can add a decent amount of lead tape and it'll be right there with the other hybrids and it will slap the crap out of the ball. And then in terms of balance point, the Revaya had a 235 balance point and the Revelle had a 238 balance point, which means the balance points are pretty good on these paddles. When it came to the twist weight of the Revaya, it was 5.89 and the Revelle had a twist weight of 6.31. Okay, so here's the deal, right? The twist weights are definitely lower than basically every paddle that's currently being released right now. But if you look at the swing weight, of both of them, they're so light that once you apply lead tape and you bring the swing weights up to where the other hybrid and elongated shapes are, the twist weight doesn't look bad anymore. So I really think that these benefit drastically, I cannot specify this enough, drastically from lead tape. If you buy these paddles, apply some sort of lead tape, watch Pickleball Studios or Pickleball Effects video on where to put lead tape. it's going to help a lot. And in terms of sweet spot, these aren't the biggest sweet spots in pickleball. I feel like these are average or maybe even slightly below average. These are Gen 1s. The foam and thermoforming they usually put along the edges increases the sweet spot. It's not there. And there's also a really low twist weight, and there's not enough weight along the edges. So bump up the lead tape. It's going to bump up the twist weight. It's going to bump up the sweet spot, make the sweet spot bigger. It will move the swing weight up some too, but really, really worth it. So is it worth it? This is a $200 paddle, and the way it plays feels different than basically anything that's currently on the market. I could take this and play in a tournament, and I would be so confident that I would play to the maximum of my ability. It would not be the paddle's fault. It is hardly ever the paddle's fault unless I'm using like a Gen 3 or Gen 4, and I'm going to be popping stuff up, and it's still technically not the paddle's fault because I don't have the skill for it. But yeah, is it worth it? I really think it is. Absolutely love this paddle. I took the Rhapsody down to Florida several months ago, and everybody that tried it was like, whoa, I am surprised by this, which that's exactly how I feel with these paddles. And I'm curious to see what they're coming out with next. Avoura, keep it up. I'm very curious. I'm wondering if they're going to jump into the Gen 2 or Gen 3, or if they're going to just come up with something different and be like, this is Gen 5. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this review. Until next time, stay safe. Have a good day. Drink plenty of water. Peace, y'all.